If every little thing goes right for Tampa, do I think they can be a contender and be a team that's there in the NFC? Absolutely. But for me, there's such a level of variance and things that can go wrong. And Brady, the simple fact of the matter was he wasn't good last year. So you're putting him in a new system. Can he rebound in the Bruce Arians offense with better weapons and have the type of year? Again, he's defied age, logic, and all of that, and I understand.
The Bears are the only NFL team so far this year that has yet to score in the third quarter. Like even the Jets
0 points
have scored in the
0
third
points
quarter.
in the third quarter.
Zero. So with that being said, I went right to that third quarter spread for Thursday night. Bucks half a point. Take that. Because the Bears are a mess. You mentioned it with Foles, but it's even a running game. Montgomery hasn't been what they thought he was. Cohen's been out. It's basically the Allen Robinson show on every single down. He can only do so much, but not 1 point, not a field goal, not a safety, not an extra point. Nada for the former monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears. Half a point spread in the third quarter. Take the Bucks.
Kanish! You know you're nothing if not freaking committed to the Cowboys. Even your lag couldn't stop that commitment. I mean, other than that, obviously 2-week period where you kind of hated Dallas for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, you've been pretty ride or die. So
he's the loyal man. He's loyal.
To that.
Well, the Steelers are definitely getting the win this week because they're going up against Joey's Cowboys. But I think for this, I'm going to go way higher.
I thought that was J-Maz's Cowboys.
No.
I don't recall that. There's no tape of me in love with the Cowboys.
You caught amnesia the last 3 to 4 weeks, but it's all good.
There's no tape of me in love with the Cowboys. We've talked about it on a few shows. We've talked about it beforehand. I'm going to lay with the Cowboys in the division. NFC East, I think they're the cream of the crop. I'm going to buy it right now this week and finally fire on our Cowboys to take home the NFC East crown and hopefully make a run to the Super Bowl this year. Nope. That's a nice one there. I like that read as well on the read. He had the Chiefs have managed this season like so well from not only whether the COVID or an injury perspective, but just not having to. It's like they've made it's like the easiest 10-1 I can remember in NFL history. So we'll see if they can snipe the 1 seed from the Steelers. That's right cute, Ryan. That's cute. Hold on, folks. Did you see that? What is it? Hold on, shovel some dirt on it. It's Ronnie P in an Eagles jersey that we buried him last week. Well, Cowboys, my Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Buried Ronnie P. And then what happens this week? Oh, poor, Ellie Melendez. Oh, she's so sweet in that. What's going to happen to her? She's going to be right next to Ronnie in the ditch. Once we take down the Cowboys, the football team loses. And what happens? What we all thought would happen. What Kanish told you preseason from week 1 all the ways come full circle. You thought we were dead. You thought everybody's laughing at Kanish Cowboys. And what's going to happen? Week 17, the Cowboys come all the way back, baby, without Dak. For a lot of the year, with all the injuries, win the division. And not only that, we get to do it when Ronnie and Allie thought they were so close. Like, oh, we're gonna win. Our terrible football teams got lucky and we're gonna win the division.
Kanish, I got a quick question for you.
What happens in the end? Kanish comes through. Cowboys win the division. They beat the hapless G-Men. Football team loses to the Eagles. And Kanish wins again. That's just how it happens. I'm sorry. It's the way the universe is. I feel terrible for you guys, but
Kanish,
it's a Cowboys. It's a Cowboys division title.
Have you not watched our defense? You've not watched our defense. You really think this defense can stop Washington? Like, honestly, God, man, like our secondary is horrible right now.
Hey, listen, Ronnie, you found Jalen. If you would have went to Jalen Hurts 2 months ago, you might be sitting here holding a division title. Instead, you're going to this is the worst part. Not only did we bury you last week, now you're going to help us win the division this week, beating the football team. And it's the way. I mean, this has really worked out terrible for you. I mean, I feel for you. I finished you off last week. Now you set us up to win the division this week. It's a tough 2 weeks for Ronnie P in the NFC East. I got to tell you, he deserves it because the Cowboys were all going to win it the whole time. So another trifecta of games: Bucks, I'm the football team. At least it's not the Giants. The Bucs, at least it was a football. The football team gets in over the Giants, and we've got Bucs -8. Totals come down a bit, right around 45. We've got Bears, Saints. That number's starting to go up. You're seeing some Saints -10 populate. Total around 47. And you've got Rams, Seahawks in a game where we don't know exactly who's going to play quarterback for Los Angeles this weekend, but -3.5, -4 around the market. Total around 42.5. Give me what you got in the NFC.
I'm only looking at one play in the NFC, although, let's be real here. I will most likely have a little bit of something on every single one of these games. I'm not getting away with not having just a little fun in the playoffs. You got to have a little action going. But in terms of a full stake, I only have one full stake in the NFC. I'm looking at the under in this Washington and Tampa Bay game. Look, the way you stop Tampa is with a 4-man pass rush. They might not even need 4 with Sweat and Young on the edges there in Washington. That defense has been exceptional. It's interesting when you see such a high line, 8.5 right now with Tampa, and such a low total for 45. Like you said, it did tick down to 45. I have 45.5, in the book right now. So I'm looking at the matchup. I just, Tom has been able to be stifled by guys who can get easy pressure up front. You have 2 of the best edge pressure guys in the NFL right now, 2 young talents, and that defense is going to be solid moving forward. It's something they could build on there in Washington. They can't really they need a name, first and foremost. Let's get them a name, please. But in the meantime, they do have 2 really good rushers.
Yeah, I would love to say this is as simple as you can't trust anybody from New York to get the job done when things are really on the line. But I won't say that because let's break this down here and be appropriate and talk actual football. The issue is that, yes, I think for the most part we're going to see Patrick Mahomes this week. I know Josh Allen is the new America's sweetheart. I know the Bills offense, obviously Brian DeBall, fantastic caller on that. But the bottom line is if I'm getting 95% of Patrick Mahomes, which I think we will. I think they were being cautious. We had to follow the protocol last week. He does have a little bit of a turf toe going on, but I think he was mobile enough. It wasn't enough to pull him out of the game before, he had the potential concussion. All reports today from Schefter and everything he's going to go. And a couple of factors here. One, the Chiefs defense is sneakily playing very well. Number 2, I think you'll see Clyde Edwards-Helaire back in the backfield. We saw the corpse of Le'Veon Bell out there getting some carries last week. So you won't have that with Edwards-Helaire back and Darrell Williams in the backfield playing well. And the Chiefs, outside of Mahomes, are really the healthiest team that's left in the playoffs. They've gotten some of their O-line back. And I think this was a line that when you were looking at, was around 3.5, 4, even some juiced 4s, and now you're getting, assuming we have Mahomes. So that's obviously it. Assuming we have Mahomes, which I think we will. Now you're seeing some 2.5, some cheap 3s. That's a play for me on KC. I think it's a little short. As long as we get Mahomes in this game, which I believe we will, they're going to get the job done. They're going to the Super Bowl. And don't let Ronnie P talk you into this fraudulent Bills team, even though I'll give him a chance to do it right now.
Whoa, fraudulent Bills team. You've won so much on the Bills. You're clowning them like that? Such loyalty.
Listen,
you have.
Hey, that's what you got to know when to fold it, Ronnie. That's all I'm saying. You load it up. You just got to know when to lay the cards down. And this is the week, my friend, because Patrick Mahomes at home is not losing to this Bills team.
So, one, I agree with you. He is going to play, but we failed to mention that he has a toe injury that nobody's talking about. So he's not 100%. He's banged up. He's not going to practice this week. So if he does play, he's not 100%. And you said 99? More like 75, 80% he'll be, my man. Right or wrong? Now, the Buffalo Bills, since I came on this show... 75%
of the greatest all time is better than most, Ronnie. Also better than the guy he's facing.
What is Josh Allen? Because to me, Josh Allen is a young rising star. Dude, casual football fans know who this man is. Josh Allen is going to be a star through this playoffs. This man is nasty. He's got some great weapons. The Buffalo Bills defense is solid enough. Now, their only weakness is they can't run the ball. But they don't need to run the ball. They got Josh Allen, and Josh Allen can run the ball. Listen, I've been telling you since I got on this show that the Buffalo Bills are the only team that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And after Mahomes' toe injury, the little concussion, him being banged up, how can you not take the points in the Buffalo Bills? I'm going to say right now, Buffalo Bills are going to the Super Bowl. Outright, Buffalo Bills win. Sprinkle a little bit on the money line, but to be safe, play the points. But nobody can stop this Buffalo Bills team, guys. It's time to get their respect. They're going to win the Super Bowl this year. You heard it here first, folks. Buffalo Bills all the way. Let's go Buffalo.
Make sure we have that clip
All
for next
right,
week. With
yeah.
Josh.
Play that clip in 2 weeks.
Well, I mean,
Play that
I'm
clip.
gonna play
We'll
that on
save
a
it.
loop
We'll
in my
save it
house.
all. We'll save it all and
Over
see
and
what we
over
play
again.
next week. I'm excited, but I want to hear where your heads are at. So, Kanish, what are your gut thoughts here? I mean, does Tommy pick up another ring?
No. I can't believe they've gotten to this point. It's been quite a fortunate run for the Buccaneers. I don't see. I already laid it. I laid Chiefs money line. I'm not going around the bush. I'm not getting cute. There was some minus 160, minus 165, minus 170 around there. Most of those probably, if you shop around, that's reasonably available. I just laid it. I think the Chiefs are the better team. I think they've got the better quarterback, regardless of how much Brady sauce is out there, the better weapons, and their defense, I think their defense is playing at a better level than Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was able to really take advantage of the fact that Green Bay was missing their starting left tackle. They were able to get pressure on Rodgers. The Green Bay defense is nothing to write home about. And this is another level of talent and game planning. And I think, there's going to be, a million cliches about, who's the GOAT, the Brady and all that stuff. But the bottom line is in today's game, for this game, right now in 2021, Patrick Mahomes is the best player in football. And I'm not going to bet. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to bet. I don't think he loses this game. I laid it with Chiefs money line.
Yeah, same thing, man. Honestly, we're looking at a situation where you're going to get a lot of Bucks money coming in from the recreational guys, right? Because who's going to back up Tom Brady? Everyone's been betting against him for how long? All playoffs long. He's been underdog to the Saints. He's underdog to the Packers. Probably going to get some money here as the GOAT. The future GOAT is here already, though. That's the problem. So my bad. I'm with you, man. I'm a fully believer in the Chiefs. Tampa Bay's game plan, running the ball on first and second down and relying on Brady to come up with some miraculous stuff on third down is just not going to work against this Chief defense that is good in the secondary with Snead, with the Honey Badger, and then plenty of pass rush up front as well. So I'm going to go a different angle, though. I think it's going to be very hard for the Chiefs to win this game and Mahomes not to be the MVP. So rather than the money line, which I totally agree with you on, I'm going to grab a little Mahomes MVP, barring some kind of 3-touchdown game from whether it's Hill or Kelsey. You're looking at a situation where he will be the MVP. He's going to throw for 300 plus yards, probably 3+ TDs, and that's going to be enough. So you can lay the money line. I will probably have that bet as well, but I'm going to go ahead and grab Mahomes as the MVP. I'm looking at even money, maybe even 120 or 110, 120 out there if you search around. So that's my favorite bet for the Super Bowl.
No, yeah, I listen. My perspective has been the same since the game was slated to take place. That I'm a believer in the Chiefs. I think the Buccaneers had a very fortunate pathway to get here. I think you've got the next generation of great quarterback. And I laid it with Chiefs money line. The prices have been right around the same, minus 160 to minus 170 most places. You've seen a little bit of variance shop to shop. So to me, go out there, find the best price. Not going to overthink it. Not going to have to give you anything. I like Chiefs money line. I think they win the game. I think they've got the better quarterback, the better weapons, and even a defense that's played a little above their head so far. I just think this Buccaneers team has been incredibly fortunate in a lot of aspects to get here at a very soft road through the playoffs. And they're facing the transcend. I think when it's all said and done, you'll be talking about Patrick Mahomes as if he stays healthy in 10 years as the best player to ever play. I'm not trying to be hyperbole. I think he's legitimately the best quarterback I've ever seen and will go down as such in 10 to 15 years. So give me the new GOAT. And I'm not buying this Brady, old man. Give J Maz. I know you got the future, big guy, but I'm rolling with the Chiefs here, baby.
Without the future, I think you're right. Although I have a little bit of a pushback because I think the offensive line injuries for the Chiefs are going to matter in this game. And it's very difficult to go against the real GOAT. It's funny you mentioned the future GOAT. As a golf guy, I always got to bring it back to golf. That's what they were saying about Tiger, baby. We know how that story has ended up playing out. Jack is still the major winner and probably the GOAT. So let's pump the brakes just a little bit on Mahomes. He's got one Super Bowl. He's his third year in. Let's relax a little bit. He's got the real GOAT on the other side. When there's no question about that. Worry about the Chiefs' offensive line issues. I think the front four of Tampa Bay can get some pressure on Mahomes, who is not at full strength, unless you can just suddenly heal from a turf toe, which has plagued people for seasons. I remember Antonio Gates never got over his. So I'm looking at that. I think you're right. The money line. don't mess with the spread if you're going to bet this game. These guys are going for wins. They're going to be doing funky things down the stretch. You're going to see 2-point conversions. I would not mess with that 3 points. I think there's normally in the Super Bowl, there's value on the money line because nobody's betting the money line on the favorite. They're all taking the -3. So if I were to make a bet, I agree with you. I'm not as gung-ho about it because I think there is a couple things that Tampa can do to slow down Mahomes. But ultimately, I agree. I think the Chiefs win.